Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here. We are live. It is Three's Company. My name is Tony Landolfi, and as always, every week, I am here with the lovely and talented Bonnie Scalisi and Miss Mandy Jones.
Hey.
Thank you all for tuning in. We got a great show for you tonight. We got Mr. Billy Mira is going to be our special guest. We're going to get right into it right now. Miss Mandy is going to bang out our plugs real quick for the sponsors so we can get paid, and then we're going to get into it.
We got some feedback going on. Is everybody else hearing that, or is that just
No,
me?
it's just you.
All right, feedback. We got Smash, 2953 Hempstead Turnpike, Levittown. Smash is a bar, but they also are a ping pong hall. You can get an adult beverage. You could play some ping pong. They've got food, Olympic-size balls, tables, and paddles down there. You could settle a bet. You could have a game night. If you check out justsmash.com, you could set up league play, reserve a table, have some fun. There's also Coaster's Tavern, 487 Newbridge Road, East Meadow. Every Tuesday, we have a comedy open mic down there, 7:30 sign up, 8 o'clock start. The three of us were down there last night. Always a good time. They've got live music, pool table, food and drinks, coasterstavern.com and justsmash.com.
Awesome. And now that we've done, we can start the show. So, ladies, we had a pretty eventful week, right?
Yes.
Bonnie was on television.
I was on the Channel 11 News Halloween autism kind of awareness event, and we're going to run the clip. So far, it's got 8,000 views.
Nice.
And Brandon and I have had a great time. So if Mike is ready, we're going to put it up on the screen, and you can take a look for yourself.
Enjoy. Maybe not.
Well, I could talk about it until it starts. It's a very scary house, and they made it more sensory friendly for autistic individuals. People were not jumping out.
Dark,
at them.
creepy places with all things scary lurking around every corner. It's the haunted house experience so many seek out during Halloween season to feel a good scare and get the pulse racing. But for special needs children, kids with autism, a classic haunted house can be more than just scary. It can be overwhelming.
Nothing to fear. Come and meet my dragon.
Hey, there you are.
Yes.
Brandon's the tall one.
Oh, don't worry, little beastie. The dragon is asleep right now.
God, I would
Today, a
laugh.
group of special needs children got a special treat
She was
at their
adorable.
manor in Glendale, Queens.
Now we're about to enter my favorite room. This is the magic room. Is everybody together? Wonderful, then right this way.
With a reassuring guide and some extra lights, this special group of kids experienced the haunted house in a way that's not as startling.
Now, what I want everyone to do is reach out and grab some of that magic in your hands.
Ooh, I like that.
Are you holding it? Now I want everybody to rub your hands
Gotta
together.
It's all about
Can't hold the
inclusion, to give them the
magic.
opportunity to come into
No
a
magic.
haunted house like this where they could experience, the props, everything like that going along the ways, without being
the guy who asked me
scared.
to be in
Most
it.
rewarding thing we've
Did
ever
he
done.
build it?
Here we kids, with these
Or
special
did-
needs, get a new experience.
There's never a body around when you need one. No worries, my dear, no. You're doing so well.
With some cheeky humor for the parents as well, it's pretty clear the special needs
Yes, you
kids
should have
all
seen the
enjoyed their
giants
first
where
haunted
they
house
came from.
experience. No tricks, just treats.
Happy Halloween. Thank you, my dear. You were so brave. Goodbye, little beastie. Goodbye, my little beastie. Happy Halloween.
And that's that.
Nice.
That was fantastic.
Well, the lady who played Maleficent.
Maleficent, yes.
What I thought was funny was Brandon. I took him to that movie.
What's that?
And he was afraid of that movie.
Of Maleficent?
Yeah, so then I'm like, oh no, the host is Maleficent. And he's like already terrified of Maleficent. But he really.
How did he react to everything? that
For
was
certain
going on?
parts, he got scared and he started trying to escape. And it was like holding like a very. Like a dog, like when the dog is on the leash. And
Yes,
so
yes,
I
yes.
had him, and I was holding him there was only one way out. You had to just keep going. So we finished it, and it was very nice. And Greg includes me in a lot of these things. This is the second time that we've been on the news.
Wow.
And he tells me like the day before, bring Brandon. We're doing this out.
That's awesome that they could do something like that.
Play for Autism, Greg Velasquez. So that's that. Thank
Nice.
you.
Fun. All right. So, tomorrow's Halloween.
Yes.
As you can see by my two cohorts, they have their Halloween crap on. I don't have anything on, even though Halloween is my favorite holiday, but it's tomorrow, not today. And Mandy's been asking you all to write in and contact her with your favorite Halloween stuff that was going on. What did we get? Anything good? Or?
Everyone just sent me stories about their parents putting them
I
in
sent you
costumes
something.
they didn't want to be in. My aunt said that she was crying because my grandpa brought home really nice, professional hamburger and a hot dog costume, and my aunt, who was lanky and tall, got the hot dog, and then my other aunt, who was chubbier, got the hamburger, and she cried because.
That's how it would be.
Because she was the chubby little hamburger.
Your aunt's in denial. I'm sorry, but she is.
They were little, and then Taz said she cried because her sister got to be the clown, and she was the Easter bunny. So then she's like, "Guess what? We were next year."
Oh, she wanted to be a clown, and her sister was.
Yeah, their sister was put in the clown
And her
outfit.
sister was putting the clown outfit, and she was putting the Easter bunny outfit. I'd rather be the Easter bunny than the clown, anyway. I don't like clowns.
My dad was dressed as a clown when my sister. I was gonna say when
Was
my
conceived?
sister went into labor. When my mom went into labor with my sister, and it was Halloween, and my mom didn't have the baby until the fucking day after.
November 1st?
Yeah.
So she was no
All
Halloween baby.
No, All Saints Day.
That's a little better than All Hallows Eve, I think. All Saints Day. That looks better. I got married on Halloween.
I know.
Did you?
I know.
Yes,
so
I did.
Cool.
So how many years ago was that?
Tomorrow's my 5-year wedding anniversary.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. How long were you guys together before you got married?
5 years. We've been together for 10.
Okay.
So-
Okay. That's a good run. That we
Yeah.
were together for 6 years. When we
Yeah,
got
you got to make sure it's the thing. Karen always said that if we were going to get married, she wanted to have a Super Friends wedding. And she was just joking about it.
Yeah.
But I made it come true.
Nice.
So,
Aw.
yeah. She was
Nice.
Wonder Woman. I was the Joker. My brother, James, was my best man. He was Two-Face.
Nice.
His wife, Deborah, she was Harley Quinn. The real Harley Quinn, not the slut Harley Quinn from Suicide
Oh
Squad.
yeah.
Um,
The suit, this.
Karen's best friend Kelly was her maid of honor. She was Poison Ivy. And then my best friend Jay, he was a groomsman, and he was the Scarecrow. Karen was the only hero. We were all villains. Karen was the only hero out of it. And people still talk to me about my wedding. They say it was one of the best weddings they've ever been to. They can't believe how
Did
much
you
fun they had.
decorate it for like Halloween? Like,
Oh, yeah. There was no flowers. There was all
Oh, cool.
like black and stuff everywhere. It's about 95% of the guests came in costume.
Ooh,
There was a few-
that's awesome.
George Gallo didn't come in costume. He came in a suit because you suck.
Maybe that was his costume.
Maybe. And then instead of doing a bouquet and a garter, what we did was best costume and most original costume.
Okay.
And when you want, my cousin Sal won best costume. Sal Garbanali from Howard Stern. He won best costume. He came as Gene Simmons, but like totally like it looked like Gene Simmons was in. People were taking
awesome.
pictures with him. They thought it was like.
Does he have
really-
long
Wow.
hair?
No, he had a wig
Oh,
on and
okay,
everything,
cool.
but had the elevator shoes, the boots and everything. He was like 9 feet tall.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he won, and then Karen's friends, Jennifer, and forgive me, I forgot her husband's name. I think it's Mike. They came as like they were struck by electricity. I don't know. They got that one.
They were
But,
fried.
yeah. And everybody so if you won, you got a bottle of Crystal Skull vodka,
Cool.
and it came with 2 Skulls shot glasses. And
Nice.
that's what we did for Halloween, and everybody
Wow.
still talks about it. That was our wedding. So every Halloween, we're always like,
That's
we're
your
gonna
anniversary.
we're gonna do something great because it's our anniversary. And the first year we went to New Orleans
Cool.
for Halloween, which was awesome. And then every year after that, we would just look at each other on the couch. Like, you want to do anything? No, I don't do nothing. All right, let's just sit here.
Yeah, you got next year.
But the house gets Halloween's a very big holiday for us. Like
I
it's
love
the
Halloween.
house is all done up, and she just finished making. She made a Georgie from It,
Oh,
So
cool.
amongst all
Ooh.
the skeletons, and I got a 6-foot tall Grim Reaper next to my front door, and she made these witches. And go on my Facebook page, you can see all the pictures. She made witches and all kinds of stuff. So now there's a sewer right by my house on the corner. So Georgie is standing in front of the sewer holding a red balloon.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
All right.
So is it okay if I do some shout outs?
I was just about to say, before we bring our guest up, let's do Bonnie's shout-outs to everybody that's watching
There's a lot of
us.
people tuning in. So Taz, the residential artist, and she says hello. And we also have Felix from Long Island Eats, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. I'm going to be on his show tomorrow. We'll talk about it in a little bit. He says, hey, Kitty and Company. Also, Adam Colbert is watching. He says hello. Ken Purcell is watching. He's a big Governor's viewer and a friend. Benny Rizzuti is watching.
Benny.
Joey Cole is watching.
Wow.
Joan Croppy Asher is watching. Dennis Murphy is going to be married here
He's
on
getting
Saturday,
married
and
this
I'm going to
Saturday.
be at his wedding.
Nice.
Giovanna Gems is watching. Let's see. And Jim Raya is watching and saying some not such nice things that I will not say on air.
That's not nice, Jim.
That's not nice, Jim.
It's not nice.
I told him to shut up. Greg DeFlippo is watching. Frank, my friend Frank is watching. Gina Condemning Coffin is watching. Mike, our engineer, is watching. And it's Joanne is your mom.
My mom.
She says, hello, my son just got home and couldn't wait to join the show.
Hi, Mommy.
And that's all the shout-outs for now. We're going to be doing shout-outs in increments.
Yes.
Because we're not going to keep interrupting each other. Right? We're going to do it professionally.
So you said you're going to be on Let's Eat?
Yes, so there's 3 quick plugs I want to do. Friday, November 1st, which is this Friday, Coaster's Tavern presents Costumed Comics. Me, Jim Raya, and John Alvera producing this show to help Coasters, and it's at 8 o'clock at Coasters. Easy enough to remember. I'm going to be on Felix's show tomorrow with Esther Forrester, who I love.
Nice.
We're going to be doing our stand-up dressed in costumes on Long Island Eats. It's right here at Governor's Radio. Just tune in like you're tuning in now. You just turn it on. And the show starts at 1:15. I'm not quite sure when Esther and I will be on, but that's when the show is on. And then there's a new podcast coming this Saturday, which you guys are going to be a part of in the future. I'm going to be at the debut of it. It's called Put Up or Shut Up. It's a Governor's Radio show and stand up with Don Sill. It's a podcast/game show where each week he's going to have 2 comedians go head-to-head in stand-up comedy skills competition to see if they have what it takes to make it in this crazy industry. The show debuts on Saturday night at 7 p.m. I'm going to be versing Joe Capella. So tune in and cheer me on.
Cheer for Bonnie.
And,
Sorry, Joe.
And I know there's a lot of comics watching this show, so if you're interested in being a contestant, just let us know.
All right.
Oh, Jeff Bossy's tuning in too. Bruno is joining us. Manny Lauren is watching. Joey Petroni is watching. Larry Arts is watching. And that's it for the shout-outs until the midsection. Okay.
I notice if the last name ends in a vowel, you have a problem.
I have the problem pronouncing names, so you'll have to forgive me.
All right.
So should we introduce
Let's bring our guest on.
guest? Okay,
Would you like to introduce him, Bonnie?
sure.
There you go.
Okay, so our next guest, he's a comedian, he's a singer, he's an impressionist, and an all-around swell guy. And he's also the leader of Billy Mira and the Hitmen. So, of course, his name is Billy Mira. Did I say your name right?
Yes, you
okay.
did. Billy. Please have a seat.
Come on in. Welcome.
Billy Mira. There it is. I'm running out of friends to bring on a show.
I know.
Last
We're
week
gonna have
was
Terry back.
Now I have Billy.
Thank you very much.
I'm bringing in
How
a
you
lot of
doing?
friends. There you go. Put your cans on. You've been on radio before, right, Billy?
Yeah, I think I've done this a few times.
So,
God.
real quick, want to thank you for coming on. Really
Pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you for
thank
having me.
you.
Thank you for asking me. What am I, your 40th friend at this point? What did I rank in the friends that he
Oh,
Oh,
you're,
there we-
you're
I
top
had a-
10
Come on,
friends
come on, give
right
it to me
now. This
straight.
is
I
only
had
our
a
third
couple
episode
no's,
of
and
it.
then I was going
Yeah,
down.
a couple
So
no's.
after like the 14th no, I was like, oh,
I
Billy
know.
Mira.
Oh,
No,
Mira.
you know it. You were my second choice.
His first choice was Ozzy,
Yes, Ozzy couldn't do it.
but Ozzy was too busy singing Black Sabbath songs.
So, we started out as being a singer in a metal band, then progress into being.
This sounds like my roast. You're not going to start roasting.
No.
me,
We
are
did
you?
that already. Remember on your internet show?
Yeah,
we
my
did that?
internet show 10 years ago.
So you started out in lead singer of the band Whiskey Road,
yes.
which go on YouTube, type in Billy Mirror 1991 Whiskey Road. You won't be disappointed. It's fantastic. Trickster stole their look from Whiskey Road. So that you go from there to being stand-up.
Yes.
What made you do that? When I first met you, when you converted to the stand-up, you were in an improv group.
Yes. That's how I started. You were like one of the first guys when I walked into the comedy club. I was there. It was a Thursday night, and Tony was there, and it was what's his name that used to run the mic nights on Thursday nights after we used to do the improv. It was Jeff Cole.
Oh, Jeff Cole, yes.
Yes, that's right. He used to put the
Plunges on his bald head, yes.
And I started Tony, I'm like, I know this guy. So I'm like, I have one friend in the industry so far.
Well, to clarify, you used to deliver auto parts to the shop that I worked at.
Right.
And
That
we
was
were talking about stuff
way
like that.
before that. Right, way before
Right.
that. And that's how I originally met Tony, and we used to bust each other's balls. And I remember I was doing a show. My first radio show that I had was on WGBB.
Just come to me a little bit.
Come to you a little bit.
You're out of the
Mike
shop.
has
Come
his
to
head up,
me.
Sorry.
Mike's giving me stage direction.
My God, where's the? Oh, okay,
he's good
I got
now.
the
Now
thumb
you're on
up.
camera.
Very good.
So we used to walk in, and Tony and I used to say, yeah, why don't you listen to my show? It's on at 2 a.m. on Saturday nights. And
Yes.
He used to go, oh, yeah, I do a show on WBAB. I do Fingers Metal Shop. Get out of here. So then we used to come in and bust each other's balls. And lo and behold, our lives would collide after that, because then I started I was like, let me just try this improv thing. And I went into the brokerage, and I just signed up for the class. The next thing you know, I stayed, and he's up there doing stand-up. I'm like, there's Tony. Oh, my God. He really does do stand-up, you know?
Say that.
So he was like my first friend that I made in the industry. And then I said, listen, do me a favor. I need to ride down a block.
Yeah.
So I got a car, and we started BSing, and that was, the rest is history.
The rest
but
is
Tony would
history.
have a lot to do with the rest of my history in life and things that would unfold. So
Introduced you to a couple people you needed
a
to
couple
know.
of key people in my life. Yeah, that's
Touch
right.
on, what was that little show you got on that time? Oh, yeah, Howard Stern. You were on his show quite a few
Yeah,
times.
quite a few times. Yeah, I was there for a while. Yeah, and that was a chance meeting because of Tony.
Yeah.
That I would walk in, and actually it was Sal's cousin. Which is a funny story. Me and Sal now have a show that we do together. It's kind of like a Dean and Jerry thing, and we talk about that chance meeting and how I called into the Howard Stern show originally, and Howard had hung up on me. I was doing an Ozzy Osbourne impression, and Howard's like, nah, get out of here, and he hung up on me. I was depressed, and 1 in a billion chance I walk into the club. It was an open mic we were doing in
Yep.
Lynbrook at Cano's.
Gina Caggiano's
Gina
old boss she used to have.
God,
Yeah.
we're going back in
Should
time.
we see who it is?
Do
Yeah.
you want to take a call, Billy?
Uh-oh. It's
You're on the air.
Yeah, hello, Three's Company.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Did he say he loves
Yes,
Three's
this-
Company or hello Three's Company? Who's this?
Your friend, big old friend Dennis.
Hey, Dennis.
Dennis is getting married
you
this
get
Saturday.
the airtime on Saturday, Dennis. You
I know, I can't wait, guys.
I'm going to be there. So
Y'all excited for your wedding, Dennis?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Is it? You don't sound too excited, but
Oh, I can't wait.
yeah, should be fun.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
Dennis.
and-
Well, thanks for calling.
yeah,
We'll see you on Saturday, man.
They're going to film it, so we'll
Oh,
all see
yeah.
it.
Hope you
Yes.
guys all come in, too.
All right, Dennis. Take care, buddy.
Be good.
Good luck. All right, and goodbye. Thank you. Sorry about
Thanks,
that.
Dennis.
I kind of knew it was
So,
him, and I was going to
Oh,
it
so we
ring.
back.
I was going to let it keep ringing, but Mandy said,
All right. Well, you got to see.
I
That's all right.
apologize.
That's
for
right.
that.
Can people call in?
They can.
Allegedly.
Anybody could call in.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we give out what's the number?
It's right on the
It's on the screen if they.
It's
they're
on the
watching.
screen. If they
don't.
want
You
to,
see
if they're
it.
watching it, they
I'm
can
pointing,
see
I
the.
think.
Yes, please call in if you want to.
They could see the number and call us in, and we'll talk. So you get on Howard. He did a big thing. That was when he was on K-Rock still.
Yeah, so then I walk in, chance meeting, I see Tony that night, and lo and behold, who he's sitting next to, which I had no idea was his cousin. I didn't even know Sal. I didn't even know who he was at the time. And he said, "Oh, this is." I was pissed. I said, "I called in the Stern Show today," and he hung up on me. And he says, "Well, this is my cousin. He's on the show all the time." And he rolled around. He said, "You're the guy who did that impression?" I said, "Yeah, that was me." And that was the start. Thank you to Tony.
I help everybody's career except my own. So it's great.
But we had a lot of fun since then. We did a lot of stuff together.
We were talking, Mandy and I were talking last night, and I was telling about how we used to go on a Wednesday night. We would drive out to the city and hit like 4 or 5 open mics.
Yeah, we get to the open mics. We'd drink Jack Daniels and Coke. We'd all get pissed off and frustrated and yell at each other on the train ride home.
Yeah,
dick,
fight at each other.
Dick, fuck you, asshole! Shut up, stop snoring. And then we would get to the train, and everybody would go their own separate way, and then we'd do it all over again. And that was when, I mean, you have to, and anybody trying comedy or starting a comedy career, you have to be on stage in my opinion, every night as much as you can, every open mic, any street corner, any telephone call, and any radio show that you can find. Just start, throwing out ideas so that you can get your brain moving and just get really used to being on stage. And that's what we did. And oh my God, we took a lot of bullets. A
lot of beatings.
The worst thing about, just the greatest thing and the worst thing at the same time about starting comedy and up and coming is that you're doing stand-up to 20 other comedians who are literally sitting there working on their own stuff and could give 2 shits about what you're saying. So I always say if you can get some kind of a chuckle out of that audience, you may get some kind of an applause out of the rest of it. But you have to have very thick skin. It's a lot. But it was so much fun, though.
That snowballed. Then you were on with Brewer for a little while.
I did. I worked with Brewer for like a year, and we did a lot of stuff together on his radio show, which was Brewer Unleashed.
Yes,
which was on Sirius. So from being on Howard, it opened up a lot of doors for me, and I was able to do a lot and expand, and then work with Jim. Got to know Jim Brewer, and him and I really clicked at that time because we were 2 metal guys, comedians. And I did a lot of impressions. He did a lot of metal impressions, so it was there was a lot of great synergy there. And I was on his show all the time, and it was a lot of fun. It was a time I'll never forget. I'll never forget it.
And then when did you move to Vegas?
I was in Vegas 2011.
And that's when you were doing the MMA
Yeah, that was a fluke thing. I used to go on other shows.
I didn't even know you were into MMA.
Well, yeah. So like a lot of shows, they would ask me to come on, and they would run into me and say, "Oh, Mira, would you like to come on?" And I remember a guy I ran into. I was at the Meadowlands, and he said to me, "The Meadowlands, a place in Jersey, the arena over there. We were seeing a UFC fight."
Okay.
And he says, "Oh, Billy Mira, how you doing?" I say, "Oh, we're on Sirius. We have an MMA show." And I was like, "Sirius has an MMA show?" I had no idea. It was like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you on." First time I was there, I ran into Jim Norton was there.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
I love him.
Norton's in MMA?
He's in
MMA too?
He actually did. I don't know if he still does, but he did one for the UFC after me with Sarah.
Matt Serra. Yeah.
Here from East Meadow, and they did some kind of a podcast together. But it was crazy. So he was there, and we were talking about it, and I went on, and I would go on every Friday and do a rant. That's how I got into the MMA thing. It was a fluke thing, and it really was not something I had planned. Well, not that I even know that much about the sport, that I should have been like this sportscaster regarding breaking down fights. But I had a great point of view of the sport. And I put together a show that just happened to work with some other guys, and we had a great time doing it for 2 years. Which, ironically, he left Sirius. We went on and had a show on Fox out there. So I started out, I was on 92.3. I was on Fox Sports Radio, and then the show went to Fox 5 Television.
Yeah.
And I actually remember one time you came out.
I was
you remember?
out there.
So funny story. So I had 2 cars when I was out in Las Vegas, and I was like. So the guy says to me, "Look, one of the sponsors had cars that he used to deal." So he says, "I'll tell you what, if you pick one of the cars, we're going to wrap it for you, and for free, you can have it." So I'm like, "It's a free car, and you just wrap it with my sponsors on it and have the show on?" I said, "Yeah, I'll drive that around." Absolutely. So I went and picked out a car. It was this boxy.
That's Scion XB.
Oh my
right?
God.
So I'm like, Tony, this was the coolest thing on the lot that I could find that the guy would give me. I was expecting like a Mercedes. I was going to pull up. The guy says, "It's 4 cars you can pick from." I'm like, "These things?" But I'm like, maybe it'll look cool if it's wrapped.
Yeah.
Because it was really funny. He says, I pull up and I pick Tony up. I'm like, "Tony, get in." He's like, "What's this?" I'm like, it's just a car.
Yeah.
They're going to wrap it.
I'm in Vegas. I hit up Billy. I go, hey, I'm in town. I'm going to be here for like 4 or 5 days. Let's get together. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's, okay, fine. Where you staying? I'm staying here. All right, cool. I'll come pick you up. Okay. And I'm waiting, and I'm like, where is he? Where is he? And then here comes this shit heap, and I go, oh, this is going to be him. I know it. Sure enough, hey, man, look at my car. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. Well, I had other cars there, but this thing was, they were going to let me drive it around for free. I didn't have to pay for it. So I said, yeah, I'll drive this. And I picked it up, and I said, Tony, what do I do with this thing? I said, and then I'm trying to stick shift it. Remember that? It's like, didn't you learn anything driving cars? Didn't you? I'm like, I hate this thing. I gave it back. I literally gave it back. I drove it back to them, and I said, don't worry about it.
You were doing your show, and I was shooting craps. I think I made like about $400 or $500 while you were shooting the show.
Yeah. So then I shot the show, and Tony went off, had a bunch of drinks, and enjoyed Vegas.
Love day drinking. Day drinking is the best. And then throwing dice, it's best.
Yeah. And then we got back in the car, and I hoofed it back to the hotel.
Then we went back. No, then we went to the Bellagio. Remember, we went to Bellagio for dinner, and while we were waiting for the table, I jumped on another crap table.
I do remember that. That's right.
We did bad gambling problem, especially with dice.
That's right. I do remember that.
Billy was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "We gotta wait like 20 minutes for the table. I'm just gonna." And within that 20 minutes, I made like another $150. He's like, "You just made $150?" I go, "Yeah." Doing that? Yeah. That's a great game. Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Well, because I forget that everybody goes out there to gamble. Like, I have no interest in gambling. It's like I forget, oh, my God, this is Vegas. This is why people come here. Every one of my friends, hold on, we're going to stop at a table. Most guys are like losing 100. Here, take 100. I'm like, okay, take 100, sure. 20 minutes, it's like gone. I'm like, where's the funny? I don't get this. But people go out there and make money, and they hit, and I guess that's the adrenaline, For me, it's the lights. I love the lights of driving down Las Vegas Boulevard and just looking at all the shows.
I like the restaurants and the comedy shows. And
that's what it is. That's what I love about Vegas.
The hotels, how beautiful they are.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I didn't have that vice. I love to drink, which is, always bad no matter where you are. But in Vegas, it's even worse. Times it by two.
I think Vegas, it's the showmanship of it, too, because there's so much history behind it.
Oh, I loved it. Even living there, a lot of people used to say, you must love being on the show. I said, no, I used to love downtown Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Old Vegas.
I loved going to I loved the Hard Rock, a couple of select restaurants. My buddy had a place called the Bootlegger, which all of my rock friends hung out in. And then I used to go to downtown Las Vegas, which was awesome on Fremont Street, which is where all the classic places were. And that was just
I like Fremont Street better than the Strip.
Yeah.
Fremont Street's got so much more history.
Now it's actually the coolest place to go is down in Fremont Street.
Yeah.
And they have zip lining like down Fremont, and they have theaters there now that they've built within the past 8 years. So they really built it up. The guy, it's funny because I was up in the mountains once, and there was a big tour bus there, and it had Zappos or Zippos, the guy who does this shoes company. Zappos. And they were all there, and supposedly that guy sunk like $250 million into Fremont Street and that whole area. That's how they revitalized it, and they built television studios, radio studios, the whole nine. So they really brought it back to life down there because, like everything else that goes through cycles, everything was about the Strip for the longest time and all these big shows, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, this guy pumps a bunch of money into old Vegas, and it becomes like the coolest thing. And really, that's it, as it should be. Because there are two Las Vegas signs when you go down Las Vegas Boulevard. There's the main one, which is by McCarran Airport, which is next to the Mandalay Bay, which is Luxor. But if you keep going north, there's a little sign. And that's where old Vegas hits, and that's where you go into Las Vegas and old school Las Vegas. And it's really cool down there. And it looks really seedy. It looks like it feels like you're in Vegas again. You're waiting for Elvis to come walking out, and Sammy Davis to come walking out and smoking cigarettes. It's awesome. And it's the part of Vegas where there's a sign that always says Elvis slept here.
Yeah. I was one of the things the first time I ever went to Vegas, I was on Fremont Street. And we went into this restaurant, and they had a claw game that went into a lobster tank. And for $2,
that's pretty cool.
Put the claw down, and if you grabbed the lobster, they took it in the back and cooked it for you right there on the claw game, the lobster thing.
I knew a brothel like that once.
Free penicillin.
Exactly.
All right. If I give a few more shout-outs because more people have joined us.
Go ahead.
Jennifer from Coasters. Hi, Jennifer's watching.
Hey, Jen.
Eric from Knock 'em Dead is watching. somebody who knows you, Paul Fiano.
My buddy Paul Fiano. Yeah.
Oh, he said, Tony. Joanne, she said, oh, the ladies look so lovely with their headpieces on, ready for Halloween.
you.
Thank you, Joanne. And Jeff Matos is watching. And Manny De Jesus, she said, hey, Mandy, you look adorable.
Aw, thank
Nancy
you.
Rizzuti is watching. And Will Romero. And Ken Pichelle says, hi, Bonnie. Hi, Mandy. Okay, that's it.
All right. So you get done with Vegas.
Yes.
Come back to Long Island.
And that's where I started the idea for Billy Mira and the Hitmen.
Right. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah, because when I was there, I was always, every time I would go to the television studio, the radio studio, the casino, I would always say, what the hell am I doing here doing this sportcasting stuff, you know? And I went from Fox and then UFC radio, which didn't last that long, but it was a great experience. And as I was there, I actually started to perform comedy. I started to sing again. I started to get back into it because I was asked to do a lot of these shows out there, here and there. And just as I started getting back into it, I started writing this idea that I had for Billy Mira and the Hitmen, which is a Vegas-style show based on a guy from New York who was like Mr. Vegas. You know, it had that double meeting hits, Hitmen, New York's Attitude, Sinatra. So I didn't know in my mind how I was going to put all of this together. And it really has taken me from the time that I came up with the idea till now to really develop it, you know, because I'd love to get back to Vegas with that in my own room eventually. So we'll see if that happens. Knock on Formica.
I think that would play great in Vegas. I mean, I've seen you do it. And for anybody that's not seen Billy, he's actually
I would love
a
to see
very,
it.
very
How
talented
do we
singer
find
and
him?
a great front man for a band. Yeah.
Thank
Plug
you.
your website.
Billy
please.
Mira and the Hitmen.com if you've never seen it before. Billy Mira, Mira, and A-N-D, the Hitmen.com. And all of my videos, dates, and everything that's developing is actually going up there now. We actually have new representation with Cooch, who you know.
My boy Cooch.
Yeah, so it's been an exciting time. So we got a lot of new things going on. I'm working with a couple people, and and we have a residency. I have a residency every Thursday night at the Polo Lounge inside of Westbury Manor. So you get a glimpse into what I do coming down there because it's a true supper club. It's a place that has a piano, a microphone, a bar. It's really old school. People sit down, they have dinner, and as the night goes on, it gets crazier and crazier. I'm there for like 3 hours on a Thursday.
So
Maybe we should go.
You guys should go. You need to explain that you're more crooning than it's not. Billy Mira and the Hitman's not really like a hard
it's
rock show. You're more of a crooner. When you first told me what your idea was, I said you're doing a reverse Ronnie Dio, because Ronnie Dio started out as a crooner, and then went into metal, where you are pulling it back. But
exactly, I did the exact
What do you
opposite.
mean by crooner? Sorry.
Crooner's like Sinatra.
Someday
These
when
millennials-
I'm awfully low.
These millennials have no idea.
Yeah, I've never heard that word.
That's
before.
great. Yeah, crooning
That's
is
great.
like a different style of singing. It's what you would
It's
attribute
sexy
to like.
singing.
There you go.
Yes.
It's what you would say
Yes,
Frank Sinatra did, and all those guys.
Now,
Dean
are you a
Martin.
singer that tells jokes, or are you a comedian that sings?
Yes, I do. So I have set stuff. When you see it, and there's
No,
different.
But I'm saying, are you a comedian first, or are you a singer first?
I think you're a singer first.
Yeah,
That's
I would
more
say,
of your passion.
I would say I started out as a singer, so that never
Yeah.
leaves you, and that's why I really missed it. I wanted to figure out a way to combine comedy, impressions, and singing into one show, and that's how the whole show came about. So, over time. Because developing comedy and singing songs are like two different things. You know what song is going to work, but comedy, it's different. You got to do like 1 million shows to figure out this is going to work, this is going to work. So I have worked with people developing ideas, for the show and lines for the show, and that's what takes the most time because you never know as comedians. Everybody here is stood in front of a microphone in front of an audience. You know how difficult it is to make people laugh. So I had to try the lines out, and I had to try different things out, and that has taken time. But we're getting it. We keep tweaking the show, and it's really coming along, and it's exciting. So now I've actually developed a couple different versions. I have Billy Mira myself, where I'll sit down and play, like Tony's saying, Mr. Lounge Singer, and we'll sit and croon a couple of songs. and then I'll do some impressions, do some jokes, talk to the people, talk to who's there, and that helps me with my improv stuff, just pulling things out of the air and making things funny, which is really, really hard, but that keeps you on point and keeps you in front of people all the time. So I do that, and then I've developed Billy Muir and the Hitmen, and then these other things that we're starting to do now also, like Sal and I are doing, that kind of Dean and Jerry thing.
Yeah, you guys did it here at Governor's.
Yeah, we did it here at Governor's.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and thank you. And it was a lot of fun. And then I've kind of incorporated, Sal into certain pieces of the show. So it's wherever we feel it can go, it can morph into different things. But the main show is Billy Muir.
Jeff Bosey is saying, "Oh my God, this guy is like a legend beyond legends." And he said, "What doesn't this guy do?"
Yeah, very talented. The shows I've witnessed it many times, and it's a fantastic
thanks,
show.
brother.
There's very few people that can get a huge crowd in the parking lot of the Smith Haven Mall up and dancing and jumping around with you. And I was there to witness it. And it was very impressive.
Yeah. A bunch of alcohol does that. Thank
Well,
God
that
for
always
Jack
helps.
Daniels. Jack Daniels, baby. Which I do sip, from time to time. But that's what we do, and that's what we love to do. Just have a good time.
And so it's not like a theater show.
It is.
Well, no.
When you see it in a theater, you see it where he's describing it out in the open, when you see it in the theater, it's a lot more like this.
Like when you were at the Patchogue Theater with them. Was it the Patchogue Theater?
What I was going to say is more, it's not like where you see a play where it's always the same acts. It's more like a comedy show where you're doing different songs and different acts. Like
and then
I'll
stop and I'll do an impression, right? I'll stop this. What's great about
a different show?
Right. What's great about doing, if I do a theater, I usually do about 2 acts.
Okay.
So I do an hour up front. We have a break, and I'll always have a host, somebody just rolling everything along.
Okay.
And then I'll come out and do a second set. And in those sets, if I stop a song, what's great about it is the stage can go dark. Which gives you that feeling like the act is, and then it comes back up again, and the spotlight's there, and then I can go into, let's say, an impression. So I'll start doing some, John Travolta meeting Tony Manero meeting Tony Montana, and doing all this crazy stuff, and then it's great, and then it leads into songs. So we take bits that lead songs. All of the songs in the show have a meaning. They're not just like cover songs. So they either mean something to me or they mean something to the show. Because a lot of people say, why don't you do so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, if it works that way, I'll put it in there. But it has to
That's what
work.
Separates it from going to a bar and seeing a townie band just doing covers. It's not like that at all. It's an actual experience when you go see the show. It really is. It's a phenomenal thing. And that's why I wish it takes off for you, because
Thanks, brother.
If it does, it's going to...
and that's what even like my agents and bookers always say is the most difficult thing to convey to some of the theaters that have never seen it before. Because when you're writing the book of something that they haven't seen in years or they don't remember anything like that, they're like, what is it? Like they can't wrap their head around until they see it. And then like, oh my God, now I understand what this is all about. It's strange. Is it a tribute show? No, it's not Elvis tribute show.
It's a variety show.
It's a variety show, right.
You did say bookers, right?
Bookers.
It sounded like hookers.
Hookers. Well, that's just a Freudian slip on my part. I was in Vegas for 2 years. No, I'm only kidding. That's not a cold sore on my lip, people.
Nice. So, what's the future hold for you now? Do you have?
We have a lot of
stuff. You got
stuff.
some national stuff that you.
It's national stuff that we're working on right now. We're with Cooch, and that's where we really want to take it this year. Take it to the next level in 2020. Hindsight is 2020. So do some really things. I really start taking it on the road in 2020, which I'm really excited about, and amping up our local audience also, which we've kind of racked up, which I'm really proud of. So that we've built up our audience here who gets it. We just got to make sure the rest of the world does.
You do have quite a following.
Yeah.
And you should be proud of that, because when you started, it was zero.
Yeah,
it was just a few of us that knew what you were doing.
We were doing, and then
you built it up to this huge following.
Well, I'm doing some decent sized theaters, and people are like, "Wow, they're taking notice," because they come back. They tell their friends, "You got to see this crazy guy.
Yeah.
You got to see this what he does. This guy's nuts. His mind is crazy."
Jay Cooch is putting your
it is
information
Cooch
on our
it's
right now,
Cooch.
so everybody can find you.
Yeah, Cooch is a good guy.
Cooch, good guy.
Yeah.
I wish he was not stuck in the woods of Pennsylvania, but come back to Long Island.
We'll get him back here. We're going to get him a mansion back here.
Guy's
but-
chasing bears out of his backyard. You ever seen the videos? I forgot what I was going to say. That's real professional. Oh, my God.
Well, that's okay. I could
terrible.
say some people are.
Go ahead,
tuning
give a
in.
couple shouts.
My friend Louise. Hi, Louise. She's a singer also. What's the female version of a crooner? She's a female
Crooner.
version of a
Peggy Lee.
croonette. She's a croonette. She performs all over. Will Sharon is tuning in now. Taz, the residential artist, said he's like Dean Martin.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I
Yes.
should-
Yes.
yes.
Dean Martin. Yeah.
And then
I do a lot of that stuff too. If you come down, it's the
Yeah,
greatest.
I'd
A lot
love
of
to see
people
that.
always, they always IM me and say, "Where do I get tickets for Polo?" I'm like, "You don't need tickets." That's the greatest thing about the Polo Lounge. You just dress nice and go to the left as soon as you walk in the entrance, the back entrance of the Westbury Manor.
Jeans and sneakers.
They have
at
a lot
the
of
Come
ball.
like a motor up at this crossyard, or you wanna get out of here. It's no good.
They have a lot of weddings there.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
yeah. And it's great too
Well, that's
because
a-
people have seen me inside of the Polo Lounge and they'll ask some of the bookers, "Hey, this guy." So that's been good also for some, corporate acts and corporate performances as well.
Nice.
So,
I remember I was hanging out with a couple of friends of mine, and we had the radio on, and a commercial came on for a show you were doing out here. And one of my friends is like, "I hear this freaking commercial all the time. Who is this guy?" And I was like, "Yo, that's my boy Billy." And he was like, "You know him?" I'm like, good friend of mine." I was like, "You know what? Go see him." I said, "Go see him, and then you tell me after you see him how it is." And he was like, "I'm good." I said, "Go." And he went and saw you. And when I saw him after, I go, "Did you go to the show?" He's like, "Yeah, I did." I go, "What did you think?" He was like, "Holy crap, man." He's like, "The commercial, it didn't do the guy justice." He goes, "It was a great show." He said, "Yeah, they were singing songs that I knew, but it wasn't like
screen
cover
is black?
bands." He said it was.
Oh, for some reason the screen is black, so bear with us for a minute.
The screen went
We're-
black.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what happened here.
Oh, no.
We're live, but just type in, "Can you hear us?"
Can they hear us?
They
can hear
you
us? Okay.
hear
All
me?
right, so we're working on the visual, and we will be back as soon as we can.
I
figure
broke
it
your
out.
cameras. I'm sorry.
Billy's beautiful voice broke the camera.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. But he saw the show, and he was just like, he goes, it wasn't like
He wasn't like he thought it was. Yeah.
He thought it was going to be like just a local county band doing covers, and he said no, it was totally different. So even the people who don't give you the satisfaction, you turn them and you bring them over to your
Who's
side.
this guy, Billy Mira?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the greatest thing is to kind of say, it's not like a cover show or a band, and that's what I pride myself because I see a lot of bands. There's a lot of tribute acts out there. Yeah, I know, and I'm not downing. I think if you can do a tribute show really well, and that's your thing, I say more power to you. But one of the things that I'm really happy about is like Tony said, I'd rather in the beginning have grown it. Now, when people come to see the show, they're coming to see me do what I do. They're not coming to see me tribute. A lot of people used to say to me, just do impressions years ago. They're coming to see me do what I do, and that's the satisfaction of the whole thing. And that's really where we're at, man.
Nice. Okay, so it's time for Mandy's Big Three. Each one of our guests, Mandy has.
How'd you know what my size was?
Mandy?
But
Mandy
it's an angry 3.
It's an angry 3. Sometimes 3.5,
Yeah,
depending how the wind's blowing. Mandy has 3 questions that pertain to nothing that you're doing, and she likes to ask our guests, and we always like to hear the answers that we get because they're always
Okay, the Mandy
somewhat-
questions.
They're kind of outlandish. So, do you feel you have a connection to the dead? Do you feel that you can have any interaction with people that have passed on?
I always say that's an interesting question because I battle with this all the time. Is the afterlife something real, or is it something that we imagine? Is it all? I like to think, I don't believe in coincidence, so then I would like to say if we don't believe in coincidence, then yes, I would believe there's a connection to the dead. But this is just my personal belief. I believe we have guardian angels. I don't think they talk to us. I think our life is for us to figure out, and they're not to interfere. So I'm a big believer in that.
Even though we're both friends with Larry Computer.
Yeah, I have my own beliefs
Therese
about it, though. It
computers.
doesn't mean it's not true. I just there's my way of feeling. I respect everybody's. Like you asked me my opinion, and that's how I feel about it.
Good answer.
Yeah.
That was a really good answer.
Yeah, no coincidences.
I didn't
I could get behind no
Yeah.
coincidences.
I didn't
for
expect
sure.
that to come out of your mouth. Wow.
Okay, another question. What's something on your bucket list?
I just got to chill. So that well, I actually have 3 things on my bucket list. Sitting down with the great Tony Landolfi is one of them.
Check it
So,
off.
it.
Check it
so
off
that's
the
tonight.
list.
That's and you two people. Come on, Three's Company was on my. Hold on, where's my scratch list right here? No. but actually, the thing that I got is actually I would love to work with Eddie Murphy, and I know it sounds cheesy. Eddie Murphy, Sylvester Stallone, and Billy Joel.
Nice.
Those would be my 3 bucket list things before and then I can go out
At
and
once?
make sure my son just finishes out the rest of his days complete and he's healthy and my family's in good health and all my friends.
It's nice to see that you put celebrity before the family.
I know.
That was
Well, you asked
Oh,
me.
my kid.
I think the bucket list of my family health and happiness goes without saying.
Right.
So I think the
Right.
other stuff is kind of like wish list stuff.
Uh-huh.
There you go. There
know.
go.
Good save.
My dad does Billy Joel's tree work, so I could try to get you in touch with him.
Yeah.
I'll
I
work
know.
on that.
He's got some big ones. So Terry McNeely was on last week, and he said that one thing on his bucket list was to catch a keeper striped bass. And I
And
took
there
him
he
out
did.
Monday, and he caught one. So
Really?
I make dreams come true for some people.
Oh, and it also to have my show go to Vegas.
There you go.
And that would be the final bucket list
I
one.
don't have any connections out there. So.
Yeah, I got a couple. When we get back out there, brother, we're gonna get you out there. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I'll be out there eventually back.
And final question: what is your spirit animal?
That's it. I had
Baby duckling.
yeah, I don't know. I would say me, probably a lion.
Okay.
Please
Your
explain
royalty,
why.
your
The
king.
lion.
Because I'm a Leo. I couldn't think of
Oh,
anything
okay.
else.
What is that? July?
Either that or it's a monkey. What?
Wait, you July birthday?
Yes, July 26th.
Oh, see, I'm a Leo also, but I'm
Yeah.
in August.
Oh, I don't
Yeah. Oh, are you? You're an August Leo?
August Leo.
That's right. Yeah.
So is my wife.
go to.
Ooh, Leos.
Both Leos.
Yeah.
But she doesn't
very,
want the
very loyal,
spotlight like
very
I do.
loyal. You know, we have a lot of qualities. Like to be, we're outgoing. We like to perform and stuff like that. But we're warm, generous, misunderstood.
Got
creatures.
a great mane.
I got a great mane.
Not me. He's got the good hit.
There you go.
He's always making fun of it.
Not me.
He's just jealous.
Back of my head looks like my Aunt Rosita's ass. It's terrible.
That's not a nice thing to say about your Aunt Rosita.
She's dead. Don't worry about it. I used to have nice, beautiful long hair. Now,
You sound like Livy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's what I inherited from my father. His terrible hair. Anyway,
So that's it. Yeah, that's my spirit animal. I would say probably that.
All right.
the
What do you
lion.
think? The lion.
I think I honestly identify with the lion myself.
You're just doing the cowardly lion.
Yeah, I was gonna say the lion. Maybe it's the cowardly lion I was thinking of.
King of the forest.
What are you looking at, you lopsided bag of hay? We always say that line from
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you believe that story with the Wizard of Oz that if you play Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, and watch the Wizard of Oz,
I heard it works. I don't
My
have the
friends
time
did it.
nor the patience
and you hear
to
some
do
of the
it.
weird things,
But
with
I've
the
heard
Wizard-
it works where it syncs up, it syncs up, and it tries to. I've been trying to do it with God of Thunder from Kiss with various movies. It doesn't work.
Either try God of Thunder or Debbie Does Dallas, and it works just fine.
Yeah, we should do that. Like different porno movies, what we could sync music up.
I'd love to play them backwards and hear what the porno music said backward.
Nice. All right, this just took a weird turn. You ever seen The Wizard of Oz? The little guy hangs himself in the background.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen it. It's pretty funny. I got chills the first time I saw it, but
Just to
After
think, the
that.
guy, he was infamous after that. It was the same midget that was on the Ozzy Osbourne 1982 Diary of a Madman tour that they hung.
Really?
They hung a guy? Oh, I was going to say, I don't
believe
remember.
You don't remember that?
They hung a
midget
little
on
person?
stage. They used to
Not
say.
supposed to say midget.
Well, all right, a little
person.
The
little
views
person.
of governors are not necessarily
The views of Billy Mirror do not reflect the
reflect
views
the views
of
of governors.
They hung him?
Yeah, you don't remember that in the Aussie '82 tour? They came
No.
out and they called him Ronnie.
They really hung him? Or
Yeah,
was...
they did. He had a harness.
died?
He had a harness on.
Oh.
He used to do it during the show. They used to hang a
of the
small
act.
person, and
82, I was like 10. So
that was my first. That was the concert that changed my life.
first concert was Frehley's Comet for me at Sundance in Bayshore.
Are you serious?
Frehley's Comet. And Savatage opened up for me.
Oh my God! In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Yes.
In the Hall of the Mountain King.
These two have no idea what we're talking about right now.
No idea.
Sabotage, who would go on to also create some of the members Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yes,
correct?
some of the
Right?
members went to TSO. Yeah.
TSO.
Yep.
Yep. And
Little metal fact here.
Little metal fact here. I just spoke with Jeff Scott Soto from TSO, who gave me a
Wow.
nice endorsement on the website. Yeah,
I remember
a
when he
big
was
Billy
singing
Mirror
for
fan.
Ingve.
Yep.
Guy's got a phenomenal voice. Very underrated singer.
Great singer.
Fantastic singer.
Sang
and doesn't
for
get what he deserves.
No. Well, a lot of people know his work. He worked on the first two Yngwie Malmsteen albums. He also sang with Journey for a while. He
Yes,
had a
I remember
had a
that.
stint with Journey. He was also the voice of the movie Rockstar. Do you remember Stand Up and Shout?
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg's
Loosely
movie.
based on Ripper Owens.
Tim Ripper Owens. That's right. And The Life of Him, which they...
Again, these two have
they
no
have
idea.
no
what
idea
they're
what it
talking
is.
about. So, the band Judas Priest, the lead singer Rob Halford left. The drummer from Priest was at a bar, and there was a Priest cover band playing, and this guy Tim Ripper Owens was the lead singer, and he sounded just like Rob Halford. So they asked him to join the band.
Oh, jeez.
And he joined the band and did two albums with them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He did a couple albums with them, and he became...
And then he got the boot.
But then he worked
That's
with...
that's the story behind the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg.
It's loosely
Oh, okay.
based
on
I've
his
never seen that.
on
Okay.
his life. And ironically, I became good friends with this guy, Richard Christie, who's on the Howard Stern Show. He went on to work with him also
Charred
in
Walls of the
Iced
Dead.
Earth. Yeah, and he was in
Iced Earth
They were in
and
Iced
Charred
Earth
Walls of the
together,
Dead.
and Charred Walls
That's
of the
their
Dam.
band now, Charred Walls of the Dam.
that they do together with
It
Richard.
goes full circle. We started at Howard, went back to
We
Howard.
went back to Howard, so yeah. There's a natural history. But Jeff, he was a big Billy Mirror fan. I did not know that. And he called
Really?
me one day from a radio station and said, my buddy said, Jeff Scott Soto? I said, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Jeff Scott Soto. He was influential on me as a singer. He's like one of your biggest fans. So Jeff was like a big fan of that, and we've kept in touch ever since. And he used to crack up and play all my bits, David Lee Roth, the Ozzy stuff on his tour bus and stuff. And so he's great. To have an endorsement from Jeff is like, cool, man, But he was in Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yes.
He's a great singer, man.
Fantastic.
Awesome singer.
Got some set of pipes on him.
Yeah, he does. He's also in Sons of Apollo. Have you seen Sons of Apollo? With Billy Sheehan, with Mike Portnoy.
No.
Buckethead, I think, is in the band. Oh, it's great. Look at the band. Sons of Apollo. Sons of Apollo.
Buckethead. He's still around, Buckethead?
Yeah.
I like his brother, Mop Ass. He's got a mop on his ass, and he just plays the bass and cleans the stage while he's there.
Well, you were really funny. I was watching some YouTube videos where you were pretending to be David Lee Roth several different times on the Stern Show.
I'm
And the funny
David
part
Lee
was
Roth.
that when you would call up, a lot of the people didn't know who David Lee Roth was, which was even funnier. And then you just kept saying, "Hey, book me on your
David
show."
Lee Roth.
It was really, really funny. Very
You ever
funny.
hear me?
Yeah, and nobody at that time too, when we were doing all those pranks, which was like 94, 95-ish. It was like David Lee Roth was probably at one of the low points of his career at that point.
He was an EMT in Manhattan
New York
at that time.
So he was hearing all of that
Yes.
stuff. He was listening to all of those
No,
bits.
yes.
Oh,
Oh my
yes.
God.
At that time, he was working in New York City as an EMT on an ambulance.
Yes,
So-
yes. And I got a lot of word that he knew me saying when he went on Howard, he mentioned my name, which was like talking about a bucket list.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, David Lee Roth knows me. So he'd been listening for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was great. And he brought me up Free FM when he took over for Howard, because he took over for 4 months and then he was
I
fired.
read
Yes,
that.
then he got fired.
He
And the
thought it would be
first,
so easy
within
to-
the first 3 hours, he brought me up and talked about me. I couldn't
The
believe
problem with Dave was they hired him thinking he was going to tell old stories about being on the Van Halen bus and he got super political.
Well, what a lot
And
of
it
people
just
don't
didn't work for
understand
him.
about David Lee Roth is he's really an intellectual guy, but he's a little out there. So he'll talk about things from worldview and things that he's done, which people can't relate to. But he's being dead serious, and he's not a stupid idiot. He's
No.
got a high IQ. He's a smart guy. His father, he comes from a family of doctors and smart business people, and he lived on each coast,
And
west.
he's Jewish.
And he's Jewish, right?
I didn't know.
And his Uncle Manny, and he always talks about his Uncle. His Uncle Manny is what really exposed him to the entertainment industry, because his Uncle Manny had a place called Cafe Wa in New York, which at the time was a lot of bohemians and a lot of the up and coming of that village scene that was happening, where Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix. Everybody from Joan Rivers, a lot of people performed in this place that his Uncle Manny ran. So David Lee Roth would come in for the summers, and he would stay with his Uncle Manny and get exposed to all of this great culture. And then he'd go back to California and bring it all back there. So he was kind of bi-coastal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and after a while, he was a little by something else, but who knows?
Ooh.
I do just want to do the sponsors
Oh,
real quick.
yes.
We only
Are we
have a
back?
couple minutes
Got a few
left,
minutes,
if you
so
can
let's
believe
I
that.
think
do
we
the
got our
sponsors?
picture back.
Okay.
Go ahead, Min.
Coasters Tavern, 47 Newbridge Road, East Meadow. That's a bar every Tuesday, 7:30 sign up, 8 o'clock start. That's a free open mic for aspiring comics, or if you want to just see a comedy show, pool table, live music, check out coasterstavern.com, check out their schedule. And we also have Smash, 2953 Hempstead Turnpike, Levittown. That's a ping pong bar. They also serve food. You can get an adult beverage. You can play some ping pong with your friends. They do have league play, or you could reserve a table if you check out justsmash.com or coasterstavern.com.
Fantastic. Billy, I want to thank you for coming in, brother.
Yeah,
Thank you
Billy,
for having
so
me,
much.
brother.
We
Billy-
so enjoyed having you.
plug your-
Billy
plug
Mira
your
and the
thing.
Hitmen,
Hitmen, Billy.
Mira. And
Yep.
how else can we find you on the internet? What's your have a
Billy Mira on
YouTube or
Facebook.
Twitter
Yeah,
or-
no, just Billy Mira. Go to the website or go to my Facebook page
Okay.
or go to my fan page, Billy Mira and the Hitmen.
Every Thursday night at the Polo Lounge in
Thursday at the
Westbury.
yes,
You
every
can see
Thursday
him
night. at
croon.
Polo. Yes. And I will be. It's just funny. I was just asked to do a show here tomorrow morning called Long Island Breakfast
gonna be in
Club.
that show.
Long Island Breakfast Club.
Long Island. Oh,
with,
no,
uh,
I'm
No.
on-
Yeah.
I'm
You're on the
Long Island
afternoon
East.
show.
Greg Juice called me up.
Okay.
He's going to be
No,
there.
that's
So
early.
I said, I
Cool.
just said, absolutely, I'll come back in here. So I will be back here tomorrow morning
Awesome.
at 9
And
a.m.
can you come back here again? Because of that, we lost you on the picture. So you lost.
They don't want to
minutes.
see my face.
That we're
anymore.
back again now, but
It was his nose.
It was my nose.
So
my
sorry,
nose.
everybody.
So, Bonnie, your show is Friday at Coasters?
Yes, please come support Coasters this Friday. John Alvera, very good friend of mine, Jim Ray, and I are producing a show for Coasters at 8 o'clock. And I'm also going to be here tomorrow after you.
Okay.
And I made a mistake. It was 1:30, not 1:15 for Let's Eat Long Island.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So I'll be doing stand-up with Esther
Sounds
Forrester
kinky.
and eating cupcakes. And speaking of that, I brought you guys some
Any
Halloween.
candy?
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes.
Got
Nice.
handy.
Yes,
Oh my
I
God,
do.
Bonnie,
Thank you
you're so
very
I do
much.
want to thank my co-host Bonnie.
Thank
She
you,
bought
Bonnie.
me.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, very nice.
Bonnie bought me a nice bottle of forged oak bourbon. This
Nice.
is good stuff. This is
Because he
serious.
deserves it.
This is why you hang out with Bonnie Scalisi,
Yeah,
because
seriously.
she gets you drunk and has her way with you.
deserves
Bonnie,
No,
baby.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. I really appreciate
my
it.
pleasure.
So.
Well,
So
at least we
nice.
got our
Don't need
at least we got our picture back at the end.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks again to Billy Mira.
Yes,
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone
Thank
be
you.
safe
Great
tomorrow.
time. Be safe. Next week, our guests are Christine and
Chrissy and Christy.
Oh, I
Chrissy and
love
Chrissy.
them. You
Chrissy
you
and
were on
Chrissy.
their show
And
recently.
Chrissy.
Connie and Chrissy.
Connie
very
and
nice.
Chrissy.
Yes,
I
yes,
love
great
that.
day.
Connie and Chrissy from
Date
Date
night.
Night.
I love
So
them.
they'll be our guests next week. Spread the word. Tell your friends. We want everybody to watch Three's Company. I'm Tony Landolfi. That's Bonnie Scalisi. That's Mandy Jones. Once again, big thanks to Billy Mira. You guys have a great
And
night.
thanks to
Keep
Tony for
supporting
getting
Long Island,
Billy Mira.
Long Island Comedy. Bye-bye.
And thank you, Mike.
Yes.